you don't have to score in the next moment. Just be patient. You are attacking Manchester City. You are hurting them when you do that. Your moments will come. Right then, team. Let's go. Let's go.
Emma, why not?
Go on, Em.
But obviously a draw, but that felt like a huge victory, didn't it? Because of the significant prize, obviously, that you got from that.
To go 2-0 down, to then come back and to go down to 10 players against Manchester City or a ball possession team, and to see the game out absolutely feels like a win. So, and obviously it secured Champions League for us. So, huge moment, huge growth moment for this young team as well. I've got to nod to that because they've not faced many of that as this team. So to do it is it's a very special moment.
And if you can just maybe emphasise a bit more the significance of actually qualifying for the Champions League for this football club.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. It has to. The next question is you got to recruit the right way. I think we saw City drop off this year just basically because of injuries. Like, it's not the quality of the team and the quality of players. They're just the injuries they've had to those players. So, in order to go into the depths of like Champions League, and actually from our perspective, qualify for Champions League group stage, because that's the next ask, is we've got to add that depth and that quality of play in the depth so that they can change the game. We have a good depth, but we need a little bit more. But Champions League gives you that, and it gives you that recruitment. People want to come to a Champions League team, so. Hopefully it opens that market for us, and we need to be very good in that space, I think, for us to push forward.
Yeah, you touched on the next step, so I just wonder, Nick Cushing said earlier this week that Champions League was kind of about the status for a club like Man City. Seems a bit silly to ask that question for a club the size and the brand of Manchester United, but I suppose in the women's game, does that give you more of a status in things like the transfer?
You're absolutely right, Em, because the club has a big status, but the women's team has a young status. So we qualified 2 seasons ago, but now we've done it again. So it does give us, it's a status. And again, I know what Nick was saying, because when we have recruitment calls, it's all about if you get to Champions League, and that's what the agents say. So for us in the pool we want to shop in, where we're in a pool of like a Chelsea and Arsenal, so who spend big money. So for us to get the right people just opens the opportunity for us to be better, and that's what we want. I want my players out there to be challenged, to get the best out of them as well. So it does open up, and that status gives you it just opens up more doors for you to have better conversations.
Just quickly following up on that, have you got players lined up who sort of in terms of that recruitment who maybe were depending on this Champions League club?
Maybe not lined up, but in terms of definitely conversations around that. I haven't stopped all year, to be honest. So, in terms of our recruitment to find the right people, so we're not just waiting. But you do have to, when you're having these conversations with agents, you do have to tip over and get the Champions League qualification, because it just opens their eyes to that's where they want to play. Best players want to play in that. But more importantly, I'm really happy for our players. I think even like Grace Clinton today was fantastic in that game. I know she scores the goal, but it's the more the work off the ball. And then even when Mal comes in, Aoife was excellent until the sending off, of course. We missed her from that, but she was excellent when she came in to substitute for Jade. So, look, we've got a moment now to reflect before we play Arsenal and obviously Chelsea in the FA Cup. And then, it's got to be a big summer for us for sure. Thank you, Em. Thank you.
High stakes of the derby, how would you evaluate the team's mental resilience and composure during the last 15 minutes?
Off the scale. I thought they were excellent. Look, we put ourselves in that position today, to be honest. I felt that we should have stopped the first goal. Hinnie goes with the wrong foot, they get past, and then we stand passive and we should be blocking the shot. And then we concede from a set piece where we don't track a player, and that's not acceptable because that's an individual role. But having said that, that's where we put ourselves. And at half time, I said to the players, and I got them into a real tight huddle, as I've done a couple of times this season. I said, you don't have to score in the next moment. Just be patient. You are attacking Manchester City. You are hurting them when you do that. Your moments will come. And obviously, Malvine was exceptional in that part for the goal. And I felt that overall we balanced it, we managed it. But there's loads of growth moments from that resilience part for us. Thank you.
Mark, congratulations.
Thank you.
I just want to ask quickly about Malvina. So you chatting to her after the final whistle, obviously to come off the bench and score the all-important goal. What did you say to her?
So, it's been hard for Mel because I felt she was excellent against Chelsea, but the freshness of Terry in the with games so close together was the key reason we went. And then Mal injecting that quality when she come in. But I said to Mal that if there's anyone in my team I'd want that chance to fall to like that, exactly that way, it would be her, because she just has the swag, this quality about her as a human, let alone a footballer, that she just saw the opportunity and she doesn't fluster her. And so because she's a great personality, she can take great big moments. And yeah, I thought she was excellent. So that's what I told her. It was that.
And I just want to ask quickly about kind of like bouncing back from obviously what was a disappointing and an annoying result against Chelsea midweek. Nick Cushing just mentioned, what he unprompted said Manchester United, when he looks at them, he thinks that they have a real kind of will and desire to win. How much did that come into today, especially coming off the back of a loss?
Yeah, I think it was the first time we played Chelsea where we accepted that we could have won the game properly. And I think obviously we won the semi-final, but there were moments you got to do it first to believe it. And I think we felt that as a team. And I watched them today go into this game, and it's at Old Trafford. It's a big derby. The last one we played here against them, we lost. And I felt no nerves. I felt they were in control, and I felt that they were ready. And even when we go down to 10 players, we were ready. And that is the biggest thing. So Nick's absolutely right. This team has the most immense spirit. And now we need to add the depth to in order for us to be challenging at the top for winning the title, not just, falling in and qualifying for Champions League. Thank you. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Good to see you.
So we've been speaking over the season about Grace Clinton coming into the first team and being an established member of the first team. I mean, today you mentioned about how her off-the-ball work was superior, probably second to none for my opinion on the pitch.
Yep.
12 duels won, 5 tackles won, the most for Manchester United today. How crucial has she been for you, and how crucial do you think she's going to be for England coming up for the European Championships?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think she'll play a huge part, as I'm sure Tooney will as well, in terms of from the midfield perspective. But I know what Grace is like as a footballer in terms of with the ball. Everybody sees that. But the one thing she's really dedicated herself to do is the off-the-ball stuff, because that's the thing Grace wants to be a hybrid between an 8 and a 10 in terms of the quality of a 10, but the engine of an 8. And if you don't know what that means, it just means the energy to go box to box. So that means you have to track runners in our box and you have to break beyond in their box. And I think what you saw today was the hard work that she's put in over years. So the reason we sent her to Tottenham was to learn the resilience to play. And then when she come back in, I always knew she's got the quality, but I wanted to see that energy and that commitment. I just said to her at the end of the final, so forget the goal, forget all of that. The way you work today shows a massive moment, which will be huge for England, I'm sure.
We'll see her stats tomorrow later today, so you can see she's covering the whole pitch as well. It goes to show how prevalent she's been this season.
She has, and she's huge, and like she's a player I identified a long time ago. So when I saw something in her. I saw her once. I think she's playing for Everton, and she chipped the ball over someone's head, and with the swag. And I just knew that was a Manchester United player because she had the personality. Our club is very. If you don't have a strong personality, you can get swallowed at Manchester United. And I think that for her, I knew that she had it, but what she's added to her game, and I'm so proud of her. So proud of her. Thank you.
Well done for today.
Thank you.
We saw early in the game that Jade Riviere went down injured.
Yeah.
Your fix on that situation. She had a really strong start to the game.
She did, and she's obviously crucial to us as well. But I think she rolled her ankle. I think in the tackle again. Pretty. I don't know what Huabi's one was, but it's kind of similar. It looked like that. I just saw her on the treatment bed downstairs, just getting it strapped, so there's no boot or anything. And she was in great spirits. She talked about Champions League, so hopefully she'll be okay. We'll assess her this week and then try and get her ready for either Arsenal or obviously Chelsea as well. But I thought Aoife Mangan was excellent when she came in. I really do. I want a special mention because when a player gets sent off, they might be, feel like they've let the team down, but I didn't think she did at all. I felt she was excellent. And 2 yellows is because she was competitive in the game. Thank you. No, mate.
Hi, Mark. It was like a bit of deja vu from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
qualify for Champions League, you know you need depth, you know you need experience. You said in your pre-match, you know, the difference isn't going to be finance. You've got to find the difference. So if you look back at that 2 years and how you recruited in that one, what are you going to do differently to learn going now into Champions League qualification?
It's a really good question, and I'll probably get you to ask me this again later on down the line a little bit, because I feel we need what we bridged from that gap that we had before was the physicality. I didn't feel, especially in midfield, I felt we could get run by. I don't think we can now. I think whether we had Dom in there, he's revolutionised the way that we play. We've got obviously Lisa, Simi. I know you haven't seen a lot of Simi this year, but I was speaking with her. You will see a lot of her. She's just bedding in. She's just seeing, again with Anna, you'll see a lot more from Anna as well. So I feel that maybe a little bit more experience, Charlotte, as well, we needed to add. I thought Dom came on, a little insight. Dom came on, and it was in the moment where we were like, do we push Mayer out to right back? Do we put Dom centre half when we lose Aoife? And Dom just went, put me on and play me where you want to play me. She says, I am ready to do the job I need to do. And that experience is what I'm talking about that will drive, because when the youngsters maybe don't have that experience, she comes in and gives it. And so I think those are the areas we have to play in. We need physicality in the front line. We need additional physicality in front. We need to invade teams. We're an invasion team. With a mix of possession. So I think those are the areas. We'll hopefully welcome Hannah Blundell back as well after the birth of Romy was behind the scenes today, which was fantastic. So again, these are details that will make us better. And then, Charlotte, it's going to be the experience of what we've had before. So this year has been a lot of growth in our players. We've got Fallon, who's been incredible this season too. So we don't need too much, but we need those right details, and that's where I've got to work hard, to be honest.
You spoke before about the help from Jason in terms of data and that recruitment. Can you give an insight of, you know, the overlap between the club and their resources that they're putting in, but also maybe a rallying cry to say, you know, if we want to qualify for the Champions League proper, we need some back.
Yeah, for sure. I think the club are aware of that, really are. The insights from is that the club are developing their own analysis kind of situation where, you know, you often outsource that to companies, but actually we design our own and building our own for Manchester United men's and women's team. And it coincides very fluidly. We're working with the data team that Jason's just putting into place to design, and Harvey's been working on them for probably 2 months now in terms of getting it right, getting out any bugs. And what that allows us to do, Charlotte, is look at statistically the right players, but also the fit for us. And then you do the interviews and so on with the players. So it's becoming much more robust. It's still in its infancy, but that's, I think, the strategy route we'll go down. But look, we've spoken as a team. If we get Champions League, then we have to look at the budget and how we progress in the market. But we're in a competitive market, so I've got to try and find, with my expertise, is how can I make a player better? Because I still think that's my expertise too. So, you know, when everyone's looking, which one, Celine Bizet, for example, at Tottenham, you wouldn't have probably seen the player she's become this year, and that's no disrespect to Tottenham, but I've seen something in her where I think we can get better, and she's been incredible this season. So I think those are the little details that we'll have to work through. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Hello, mate. Good to see you.
Yeah, cheers. The atmosphere was great. I mean, I felt it maybe got you back into the game as well, because making a couple of decisions early on with a disallowed goal. Do you think that did help the team as well today?
In fact, I felt that if we didn't have them, I felt the last 5 minutes would have been probably a different story. The raw, Terry goes down with about 6 or 7 minutes left to play with cramp. And the roar of the fans when we go down that side, I know it physically moved my team. And I think they were the difference today between us getting a point and not qualifying for Champions League on today. So huge mention to them, incredible turnout, and you know, I want that continued growth because we're the biggest club in the world from that perspective. Team, thank you very much. Great to speak to you all. Thank you.